I had my surgery in January of 2013. It was positive for adenocarcinoma, which is a cancer of the lung, followed by 4 rounds of chemo. 5 years later, it came back, had another surgery, 4 more rounds of chemo.
I met Ann in 2018, and she was already 6 years into her cancer journey. After she had seen me and we had diagnosed her recurrence, she underwent a special type of radiation therapy and was able to then be observed for a course of time.
I started having more respiratory problems. Fluid was coming up. I was constantly coughing, choking on my secretions. I couldn't sleep. I felt like I was a prisoner in my own house because I couldn't walk very far. It was really, really bad.
We had her undergo a biopsy, and we sent it off for additional testing to look at the genes of tumor cells, and sometimes it enables us to find different medications.
And the Tempest testing came back for something called an NRG1 fusion, which is an abnormality which is only 0.1 to 0.3% of the population. And that got me into this clinical study.
Being part of a research study is a huge thing because this is not something available to everybody, and it's very fortunate that we were able to give this to her using a drug called seribantumab. And this is a monoclonal antibody, which is basically a protein that was created that actually could prevent this cancer from growing.
We were like in panic mode the week I was starting the study because I had gotten so bad so fast. Family was flying in, they're making all kinds of permanent decisions, and it was just really hard.
After she had received 2 months worth of therapy, she had scans again, and those scans highlighted how much better physically she was by how much we could see radiographically. She was much, much better, and she continues to respond really, really well.
I started the clinical study. I was on 4 liters of oxygen and couldn't walk 5 feet. And within 6 weeks, I was off oxygen, totally. Dr. Hackstrom was doing everything he could to help me. And he's the one that ordered the Tempest testing, and he's the one that got me involved in the clinical trial. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him.
Well, it's very important for patients to understand that they matter to their providers and their providing teams. And there has to be a great deal of trust when you're dealing with, for lack of a better term, matters of life and death. When we're asking patients like Ann to enroll in a trial that's an experimental medicine, we're not sure that it's going to work. And so you have to have a lot of trust and faith in the system and how the providers are.
Clinical trials are obviously hugely important because they're going to provide our drugs of the future, the way we can actually hopefully fix people and get rid of their cancer. And more importantly, people like Ann are also our future, because they're able to not only think of themselves, but think of the possibilities of helping other people. And therefore, they can make things better.
I still have stage 4 lung cancer, but it's manageable because the tumors have shrunk and they're not moving as long as I'm getting this medication. And I'm just so thankful. These clinical trials are lifesavers. It saved my life, literally.